If you are a makeup enthusiast, you have probably encountered situations where your foundation shade doesn't match your skin undertone or is too light or too dark. I have personally faced this dilemma numerous times and have often had to mix multiple shades to get the closest match. However, today I want to experiment by using these foundations just as they are. One of them has the wrong undertone while the other is excessively light. Additionally, they have different formulations. One is silicone based and the other one is predominantly oil based. To begin, I will prime my face. On one side, I'll use the silicone based primer from Absolute New York, and on the other side, I'll use a moisturizing primer. Then I'll apply the two different foundations to each side of my face. You can observe that the Good Apple foundation from KVD appears grayish, while the Dermacol foundation on the other side is too light for my skin tone. Now I'll proceed with applying the Milani concealer in the shade Natural Sand to fix both sides. Let's start with the KVD side. Since this concealer closely matches my skin tone and doesn't have brightening properties, I will only use a small amount. This will help correct the shade without adding any extra brightness. On the Dermacol side, I will apply a more generous amount of the concealer. This is because I want to counteract the extreme lightness under my eyes, around my mouth, nose and forehead. As this concealer is slightly peachy and is very close to my skin undertone, it will help neutralize the lightness and minimize any yellow tones from the foundation. To blend the concealer on the lighter side, I will stick to using a brush. The darker concealer over the lighter foundation requires more coverage, and using a beauty blender could absorb too much product and be less effective. At this stage, you can already see the difference between before and after. Moving on, I'll use a warm toned contour product. I have chosen the Tantor from Huda Beauty. Starting with the Dermacol side, since it is significantly lighter, I will contour more liberally. I will apply the contour on my cheekbones, forehead and jawline. However, on the KVD side, I will only apply a small amount of contour to cancel out the grayness without adding too much depth. When contouring my forehead on the KVD side, I will use whatever is left on the brush. I'll also contour my nose and add a touch of color to the eye socket and brow bone. Moving on, I will use a banana setting powder to set my under eyes. On the KVD side, I will apply more powder to brighten up the area. While on the Dermacol side, I will use a smaller amount just to set the products in place. Now you can see the bright highlight from the Dermacol foundation. To achieve a similar effect on the KVD side, I will mimic the highlight using the banana setting powder. I will let it bake for a while. Additionally, I will bake the forehead and the bridge of my nose. While the powder is setting, I will apply blush evenly to the temples on both sides and fill in my brows. Now I will dust off the powder and even out the entire face using the same brush. Like this, I am done with my base, and finishing the rest of my face off camera, the final makeup looks like this. However, I must note that while this technique of directly mixing different shades of foundation on my face can be a way to fix the base makeup, it does result in multiple layers and a heavier product application. I feel that there is a lot of product on my face, and even my under eyes feel it when I smile. In my opinion, the best approach for a flawless base is to either find the best match for your skin tone, or if needed, pre-mix different shades and undertones beforehand to achieve the desired result. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay beautiful.